Welcome. In this playthrough Marvel Champions, a card game, we have Hulk teaming up with She-Hulk to take on Norman and Osborn and the Green Goblin in Risky Business. So setting up for this battle of the Greens, we're using Norman, Osborn 1 and 2, Risky Business, standard encounter sets with Goblin gimmicks, put the Criminal Enterprise environment in play and shuffle the encounter deck. We have a threshold of 7 threat per player, so 14. When completed, place 1 per player infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. Then discard 1 card from each player's deck for each infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. And this starts with 4 threat on it. Criminal Enterprise enters play with 2 per player counters on it. If there are no infamy counters here, flip Norman and this card. And then Norman, Schema 2, his attack ability. When he would attack, we place an infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. As a force interrupt, when he would take any amount of damage, remove that many infamy counters from Criminal Enterprise instead. And he starts with 28 health, and I'm always forgetting about that. So in that mode, I'm just going to cover up my dial. We'll give counter stack one last shuffle. For our heroes, Bruce Banner, recovery of 4, experimental research as an action. He can draw 1 card, choose and discard a card from your hand, and that's limit once per round. He's got a hand size of 5 and 18 hit points to start with. So there's a look at him. And then in his hero form, forward of 0, attack of 3, defense of 3. He's enraged as a force interrupt. When your turn ends, discard your hand and a hand size of 4. For Jennifer Walters, she has a recovery of 5. Her ability is she objects. As an interrupt, when threat would be placed on a scheme, prevent one of that threat, and that's once per round. And I don't play with her much. I'm probably going to forget a lot of her abilities here. She's got a hand size of 6, 15 hit points, 4 to 1, attack of 3, defense of 2. Her ability is Do You Even Lift? As a response, after you change to this form, deal 2 damage to an enemy. A hand size of 4. So both of these have small hand size in their hero forms, and I think we're going to have a lot of threat to deal with. Starting off, we'll get 5 cards here. Oh, goodness. Well, we've got Banner's Laboratory, +2 recovery, Combat Training, which gives your hero +1 attack, Relentless Assault, and then a movable object. I think I'm going to keep these 2 and risk. All right, so we've got Limitless Strength, the Hulk Smash, and Valkyrie. Goodness. Too bad 13 equals 4 if we use that. Then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. Jessica Jones, Endurance, Avengers Mansion. That's going to be good early on, hopefully. Enhanced Awareness, followed, and Enhanced Awareness. I think we will pitch these 3, getting Focused Rage, Strength, and Genius. So we will use his ability to draw a card and discard a card. And we're going to go ahead and give us some combat training. Flip over, become an immovable object. Gets us +4 hit points and retaliate 1. So up to 22. Then we are going to attack for 4, which will remove all this. So State of Madness enters play with 2 per player counters on it. If there are no counters here, flip Green Goblin. And he is going to have attack of 3. His ability is when he would scheme, remove 1 madness counter from State of Madness. And when reveal, deal 3 indirect damage to each player in hero form. Fortunately, that's just the Hulk. So down to 19. Then we'll go to Jennifer's turn, flipping over, doing 2 damage to an enemy because Goblin doesn't even lift. Then we're going to get Avengers Mansion using Genius and Strength. And use that to draw a card, getting a Quinn Carrier. Well, I was planning on Jessica Jones, but Quinn Carrier. We are an Avenger, so we can play only if our identity has the Avenger trait, so we meet that now. And as a resource, exhaust it to generate a wild resource. Then she will swing for 3. Goblin goes down to 23. That ends her turn. So for the villain phase, we'll get 2 threat up here, going from 4 to 6. Goblin goes to attack. Well, before I guess we do all that, I'll draw some cards. How about we do that? So, 2 downtimes, Relentless Assault, and an Uppercut. Then target acquired, Gamma Slam, Beat Cop, and the Power of Justice. Now we'll go back to the fight already in progress. Goblin's going after Hulk. He's going to take it. A base 3, 4, 5. So as a boost, place an infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. If you cannot, remove a madness counter from State of Madness. 5 damage coming in, down to 14. We retaliate for 1 to 22. Then She-Hulk gets attacked for base 3, 6 damage, and he's hitting harder than we do. Then we'll deal out some encounter cards. So on the Hulk, Pumpkin Bombs. Attached to the villain. After the villain attacks you, discard Pumpkin Bombs and take 2 indirect damage. So here our action, we can spend 2 physical resources to discard that. And over here, Intimidation. When revealed, choose to either spend 2 resources of any type or give the villain 1 face-down boost card. And since I don't have any allies coming up, we will discard 2 resources. She-Hulk becomes first player. We're going to bring in a Beat Cop with the Power of Justice and our Quinn Carrier. So as an action, exhaust a Beat Cop to move a threat from a scheme to here. Then as an action, we can exhaust and discard Beat Cop, deal 1 damage to a minion for each threat here. And I think she will swing for 3. Down to 19. And flip over. Let Hulk draw a card. Power of Aggression. Hulk is going to give himself some downtime. Could play it on her, but I want to keep Hulk hero mode as long as possible. Well, I guess it just doesn't make sense to put him on it right now. We'll give that downtime over here to Jennifer. So we can play it under any player's control. Your alter ego gets +2 recovery. Then Hulk will swing for 4, down to 15. Then we're going to do an uppercut, paying these resources to deal 5 damage to an enemy. Down to 10. Ending our turn, drawing 6. Superhuman Strength, another Beat Cop, Under Surveillance, Legal Practice, Power of Justice, and a 1-2 punch. And the Hulk, Crushing Blow, Unstoppable Force, Thunderclap, and Energy. Go up to 7. Goblin will scheme over here, remove a counter, attack here. Let's see. I think I'll defend. So we've got a base 3. Goodness. 6 damage coming in. We block 3. We take another 3. So down to 11. Retaliate for 1. Down to 9. Then we get some pumpkin bombs thrown at us. So we're going to take 2 indirect damage. And we'll take that directly. Down to 9. Counter cards. Getting ganged up on over here. We're an alter ego. Card gains surge. So we move into Oscorp Manufacturing. Place an additional threat here. When revealed in Norman Osborn, we are not. So just getting 4 threat on it. And here, the villain attacks you. We're being assaulted. All right, guess we're going to take it. 3, 4. Give the villain an additional boost card. 7. Down to 2. Hulk does not feel well. Going to let Hulk draw a card. Getting a helicarrier. Then we're going to play a helicarrier. And then exhaust it, choose a player. We're going to choose the Hulk. Reduce the cost of the next card that player plays by 1 this phase. So we're going to play Unstoppable Force. Ready Hulk, if you paid for this card using only physical resources, draw a card. We are. So we will ready. Draw a card into Boundless Rage. Then we are going to flip over. Draw a card and discard a card. Limitless Strength. We'll keep. And then recover for 4. Up to 6. I think last turn I forgot to use her ability. But I don't remember, so we'll just keep it as is. Well, he might have to stay in that form a little bit longer. She's going to recover for 7. But Max takes her up to 15. And she'll flip over, dealing 2 damage to an enemy. Down to 7. Then we'll have this Beat Cop steal 1 from over here. Play Power of Justice to do some under surveillance work. Attach to the main scheme. Increase the target value of the scheme by 4. So that now goes to 18. Then we're going to bring in another Beat Cop. Using the Quinn carrier for one of those resources. And go ahead and use him. And that will end our turn. So drawing 3 more cards over here for Justice, Focused Rage, and Hellcat to go with our 1-2 punch. We'll be keeping that. Drawing 4 more. So we've got an uppercut, a drop kick, and power of aggression. So we're going to get 3 threat. So we're going up to 10. Goblin schemes. We'll remove a counter. He attacks. We're going to take it. A base 3, 4, and remove a counter. Well, that changes things. The boost happens first. So removing a madness counter, which will flip this. And it also switches to Norman Osborn, which now has an attack of 0. So we've just got 1 damage coming our way. So we go down to 14. Then we get some encounter cards. Private security over here. So it's got scheme of 0, attack of 1, 4 health, and the guard ability. And on She-Hulk, all in a day's work. When revealed, place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. If you cannot, remove 2 madness counters. We've got 6 over here, and she becomes first player. Well, this Beat Cop is going to take 1 from here, and this Beat Cop will take that one. So Oscorp Manufacturing has been dealt with. We are going to bring in Hellcat because we need allies for this. So there's 2. We'll use the Quinn carrier for the 3rd. 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health. As an action, we can return her to our hand. She's going to come in and thwart. Make some room here. Thwart for 2. Taking this down to 8. Then she will attack for 3. Make sure I remember some things. Then we're going to let Bruce draw a card, suborbital leap. Then he will draw a card and discard a card, Mockingbird, which I'm just not ready to play just yet. Or let me rethink that. I think I am ready to play that. We are going to recover for 4, going up to 10. Flip over. Put in Martial Prowess. Play under any player's control. As a resource, exhaust this to generate a physical resource for an attack event. And that's where I'm messing up here, thinking. So I'm going to make my next card cost 1 less. Uppercut's going to take 2. Mockingbird will pay for it. It's an attack event. So that's the other one. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Take care of private security. Then Hulk is going to drop kick Norman. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using only physical resources, stun that enemy and draw a card. Well, we did. So 4 damage goes here, which triggers this happening, along with stunning. And we draw a card, finding Brawn. But we're dealing 3 damage to every hero. And it could be indirect, but we'll just take it all on our heroes. And hopefully that wasn't a mistake. So we've got a discard Brawn, which I hate doing. We will keep for justice, drawing 3 more. So we've got a ground stop, endurance, and a 1-2 punch. And Hulk. Unstoppable Force, Relentless Assault, Crushing Blow, and Battle Fury. So 2 threat going up to 10. Goes to attack over here, lose stunned. Attack on Hulk. I think we'll send Hellcat in for this one. So base 3, 4, and remove a Madness. And counter cards. Legal work. That's no fun. All right. We may flip to alter ego form. Okay. Then we're going to exhaust so we can remove this from the game, because I do not want to put an acceleration token on the main scheme. And then here, pumpkin bombs. All right. Got some of those for Goblin. Hulk is first player. He will attack for 4. Goblin goes down to 3. I think we're going to let Hulk draw a card, finding an uppercut. We'll make the next card we play 1 cheaper. So Unstoppable Force, Ready Hulk. Paid for this using only physical resources, which we will. Draw a card. So drawing into Tigra. Then Hulk will swing for 3. And that will take care of the first version of Goblin, which brings out the second version. Scheme, force interrupt. When he would scheme, remove a madness counter. Attack 4. And oh yeah, deal 4 indirect damage to each player. Down to 3 health. Down to 7. And 18 health per player, so 36. So we are going to play an uppercut. It's an attack event. Use that for 1 resource. There's our other 2. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Down to 31. And it's time to flip over. I'm going to draw a card and discard. That's a good card, but I think it's time we put an ally out to save us later. Actually, we need an ally now. I don't think I can flip her over, but we're going to anyway. Dealing 2 damage to an enemy, down to 29. We're going to play for justice, removing 4 threats since we paid for it with a mental resource. So down to 6. Then each of these are going to steal 1 from that. So stole there, so now it's down to 4. Then we're going to give ourselves some endurance with the Quinn Carrier, giving us +3 hit points. So we're up to 10. And that's our turn. We're going to keep Tigra, drawing 4 more. All right, Thunderclap, Hulk Smash, target acquired, and a counter attack. Then 4 cards over here. Followed, Enhance Awareness, Legal Practice, and For Justice. 2 threat gets us up to 6. Goblin goes to Scheme. Then he goes to attack. I feel like she's got to defend. So base 4, 5 damage. She blocks 2, takes 3, so down to 7. Then the Pumpkin Bombs deal 2 more, so down to 5. And counter cards. The Villain Schemes. And then we got a payoff. So that's just coming in with 4 threat on it, and if we don't do something about it, we get an extra encounter card. And She-Hulk is first player. So we are going to use the Quinn Carrier to put Followed in, attach to a side scheme. When attached scheme is defeated, deal 4 damage to an enemy. Then for Justice, paying a mental resource to remove 4 threat from a scheme. So the payoff is taken care of. Followed triggers doing 4 damage over here, so down to 25. Then this Beat Cop takes this from 6 to 5. And this Beat Cop takes it from 5 to 4. She-Hulk flips over. Going to let Bruce draw a card, getting a drop kick. Then Bruce is going to draw a card and discard a card. So I've got Genius. And I'll get rid of target acquired. And while he really needs to heal, I've got too much damage potential. So I'm going to flip over. I'm going to make an attack. So we're 4. Hulk smashing to give us +10 for this. So 14 damage. Down to 11. We'll make the next card we play 1 cheaper. Doing a drop kick using Prowess. And that, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using only physical resources, which we did, stun that enemy and draw a card. So down to 7. Stunned. And drawing into a suborbital leap. That's going to end our turn. Hulk must discard. I'm going to draw 6 over here. Superhuman Law Division, Lockjaw, Energy, Superhuman Strength, Agent Coulson, and For Justice. We're going to draw 1. Get an encounter card. That's scary. And shuffle. So Green Goblin, our second version's down to 7 health. Hulk is down to 3. No allies to protect him. Jennifer's down to 5, but she's at least flipped over. And our first scheme is at 4 out of a possible 18. 1, 2, 3. And I guess that card doesn't belong in there. And we get 3 more cards coming here. Battle Fury, Suborbital Leap, and Relentless Assault. Up to 6 threat. Goblin Schemes over here. So that's going to flip these over. So on Hulk, he would normally remove here, but he's stunned, so remove the token. They take precedence. Deal out encounter cards. So on Jennifer, she finds some private security. On the Hulk, got a payoff coming in. So that's going to get 4 threat on it. And caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. No cards were discarded this way. This card gains surge. I think we're going to lose our martial prowess then. Then Hulk will be first player. So ideally what we got to do is 4 damage. So we need 11. 4, then 7. So we'll ask Jennifer to let us draw a card, finding some downtime. Hulk will make his next card 1 cheaper. For a drop kick, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this using only physical resources, stun that enemy and draw a card. So we are doing that. So 4 damage. Stun the enemy. Draw a card. Actually, that's going to kill us. Never mind. Think about this again. Yeah, we kind of already started that. Let's go ahead and back do that. All right, so we're doing the drop kick. It is going to knock us out, but oh well. We're taking that off. We're stunning him. We're drawing a card. But everything gets flipped over. For indirect damage to each player. Hulk gets knocked out. She goes down to 1. For her turn, as an action, exhaust and discard the beat cop. Deal 1 damage to a minion for each threat here. There's 4 threat on there. Take out the private security. She is going to flip over, asking him if he even lifts, taking him down to 5. Then superhuman strength, using these 2 to pay for it. And then because I can, 4 resources to bring in Lockjaw. But She-Hulk is going to attack for 5. And that will do it. And Lockjaw runs over to try to revive Hulk. So Hulk and She-Hulk was barely able to take down Green Goblin, but they found a way to do it. And for deck construction, 2 power of aggressions, 2 combat trainings, hoping to get them on both She-Hulk and Hulk, 3 drop kicks, 3 uppercuts, 3 relentless assaults, a counterattack, martial prowess, battle fury, 2 of those, once again trying to get those on each player. And then some allies, Tigra, Brawn, and Valkyrie. And for basic resources, got those 3 cards, 2 downtimes, Helicarrier, Target Acquired, and Mockingbird. Then for She-Hulk with the Power of Justice, the 3 for Justice. I like the beat cops. If you get them out early, they are way worth it. Under Surveillance, Counterintelligence, followed times 2, Daredevil, Quake, Jessica Jones, and Agent Coulson. And the basic cards, we've got our 3 resources, and then the rest of hers are about helping with our low hero draw. So Avengers Mansion, Helicarrier, Quinn Carrier, then 3 enhanced awareness, 2 endurance, target acquired, Mockingbird, Lockjaw, and Nick Fury. So that's everything for my Hulk, She-Hulk versus the Green Goblin. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.